let me ask Keita real quick. What's next for Black people? What are, as far as yourself, like I said, as with Gina, personally, what's some things that we can start doing next as far as this group? When I said yourself, as far as this group and people that's on the move like us, what's something that we could do next to improve our current situation?
My focus is always health. So being more self-efficient and aware of our health, like what we're eating and, what we need medically, because we can't do anything if we ain't alive. So health comes first to me. So being more aware of our doctor's visits and what they're actually doing with us. My focus has always been the medical field, and I'm still in school for to get a bachelor's in medical. So that's my contribution, is making us more, I guess, self-aware medically all around, diet as well as health diseases, viruses, stuff like that. Because I know that we are the number one lab rat. They've always been testing on us. Tuskegee Airmen, not Airmen, yeah, the Tuskegee experiment, the yeah, the experiment on
Henrietta
the
Lacks.
Henrietta Lacks, the cancerous experiment on the man's heads. Some
A hole in the head. I forgot
yeah,
his
the hole
name.
in the head. There's countless of experiments that they have done on us and continue to do. So that's my focus, is medical. Trying to
All
say
right.
so much but not say it at the same time. I was trying to sum it up because it's a lot, honestly.
Let me ask y'all. Should we be proud of our growth amount, or are we behind based on our prior to current opportunities? So basically, like, how, like, people always be like, well, you have the chance now, or with Kanye West with the slavery, like, you shouldn't be slaves no more, and he's saying we're still slaves. What I'm saying is, should we be proud of our progress up until now, or do you feel like we are behind from where we should be with our current opportunities?
We were good by ourselves when the integration shit just like it killed us. It didn't even it just threw us off of the map. So I don't know. That's how I feel about it. So
Hey,
We got another caller.
my name is
Ryan,
Hati. I'm here to help.
your name is what?
My name is El Hatier. That's Latin for hate.
All right, all right. Did you hear the question? How you feel about it? Should we
Uh,
be proud? Should we be proud of our growth amount? Or are we behind based on our prior to current opportunities?
it's hard to speak for individuals, but as a whole, I think it's obvious we're behind. Um, everybody is looking for approval, and nobody's like on any self missions. Everybody's trying to please other people, so they don't have no sense of self to move forward. It's always about seeking approval, so people are stuck. We got too many. I feel like we got too many athletes and entertainers, and not enough scientists and shit.
Hmm.
All right.
It's a different type of thing.
Go ahead.
I'm saying it's a different type of thinking because, like, it's like, you take like 10 preachers and you take 10 scientists and you ask them to get to the moon. Which group of people you gonna ask to get you to the moon? So if you want to move forward in the society, the people that are at the forefront of that have to be of some type of highly scientific thinking, in my opinion, and all this like little bullshit. If you're not a person that's showing proof, you shouldn't be involved in that process.
So, are you saying you're trying to go to the moon?
I didn't say.
No, I'm fucking with you. No, I feel you though. I feel you though.
And you
Um,
fucking nigga for that one.
um, Gina, did you hear the question? Should we be proud of our current growth amount, or are we behind based on our prior to current opportunities? Still there? Oh yeah. I can't hear you. You might be on mute.
Oh, I think we're very behind. So I think we need to catch up. If you just look around, like look at us, everybody's just doing, a little better than we are, and we gonna have to catch up. Is we need to come up with a plan on how to catch up, or it's like we have like a. Well, that
I
wasn't
can't see
even
you
our.
in the cam on the recording. It's just showing your ceiling, just to let you know. So I don't know if you.
You talking to
might
me?
have-
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. It's sitting up.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
tell them
But
you got high hopes. Tell them don't worry about that. You got high hopes. I have. Just look at my
No, because
hopes.
because the way the screen is shaped, it only shows half your screen, so it shows the top half. It don't show
oh,
your whole screen.
Trying to get you to lower the camera a little lower.
is
Nah,
that better for you?
I'm just saying. Now we can see your.
Uh,
At first, I couldn't
okay.
see. At first, I couldn't see nothing but the ceiling.
Um. Well.
But
How you doing, lady? Hey, ignore me. I'm just a fool, but I come in peace. How you doing, lady?
Hi. So I just think we just need to catch up. We need to come up with a plan. I think like they tried to use the Black Lives Matter, which really wasn't our plan or our movement, and
Dang.
we gonna have to catch up. Like we're very behind.
That's actually dope what she said, because in reality, I think that when you look at the black community, people should have the ability to identify the fuckery. Somebody should be able to say, hey, that Black Lives Matter, that shit, and not get shunned. But the way they push these agendas, they make you feel like if you don't fall in line with the popular agenda, that you're shaking, you're not doing the right thing. And it's hard to have leadership with that type of community.
Yep.
Nebjari, the question is, should we be proud of our current growth or are we slacking?
Yeah. As a whole, we're kind of as a whole we're slacking, but in individual groups, we're murdering this planet. And again, what I'm saying, like I was saying earlier, you have to travel a little bit and kind of know certain people and certain things. But black people in the United States are behind. Everybody else on the planet is kind of, because, but then again, people that are in Africa, certain places, they're closer to their culture and resources. Here, you got to play the game back and forth with the white man. And it's like the billionaires here are more entertainers and things like that. Even if they own their own business, but you still under the white man got his hold on the world per se, but you still have some type of leeway you can poke holes through the fabric. But here, they tax you from the gate. You're already have a social security number. I mean, you know what population tailoring is, and that's pretty much what's going on. I hope you do. That's what's going on here. They got the population reduced down low enough to where they can control it. Look at prisons and jails and police and stuff like that. So, in the United States, as individuals, certain people can get certain places, but in certain groups, Nigerians with oil and diamonds and stuff like that and bauxite, and then look at people from Congo, people from Zaire. They have conflicts in those areas, but they're still people, of their culture and nationality still in control, even though the French and the other, Europeans have their, control over it per se, but still, as you can see, they're forming partners with Japan, China, the Philippines, Cuba has, back in the 60s and 70s, Cuba sent, troops into Africa to help fight, them Yugus or Europeans and things like that. And so, again, in small groups, I don't even want to say small groups, but in other groups, yes. In the United States, no. It's again, like the sister was saying earlier, people want to wear Jordans, and over here you got to look good and not really be good. Other places they're getting it in, even in the UK, people they're getting it in, and you hear the music, you see the styles, African styles is coming back.
Afrobeat.
Afrobeat is real huge, and these people, people like Akon you see what he's doing. You know, has his own currency coming. He's pretty much providing a large mass area.
But you know, a lot of people don't know what he's doing.
Electricity and him and I'm quite sure you know who Robert. You know, they get over here.
Black Lives Matter.
Right, and yeah, you know, like I said, I'm kind of burnt from when I was growing up. You know, they want to, like our boy said, they want to call you African booty scratcher, or they're worse than the white people if they hear you speak twa or say anything outside of English. You know, or you know, black people are just as bad. You know, this is America. You need to, you know, but yeah, no, people don't know about Robert Mugabe and Julius Malema and other people throughout Africa and other places on the planet too. You know, Duarte and he's the Philippines. You know, there's plenty of people on the planet, and you know we winning in certain areas, but we still need help. We all do. We still need help. So, but yeah,
speaking of Julius Malema, real quick, how y'all feel about them kicking the whites out of Africa? Kicking the whites out of Africa, and like you know they talking about white genocide and all that. How y'all feel about that?
I think
agree.
that's beautiful.
Why would you came there? Y'all took somebody's land. It's time for y'all to go. Bye.
It's the right thing to do.
It's not your
Common
land.
sense. Exactly. That's like me going to any of y'all houses and
try to run it.
Like, you going home. Like, they'll belong to my place.
They have to go. I mean, period. And they, oh man, I'm not gonna go there, but yeah, they just need to go. They need to go. Period. They weren't invited there.
Right.
I mean, even if they were, so what? Like they gotta go.
It's like they just come and take over. You cannot be mad that these people want their land back. If the Native Americans come up and say, "I want my land back," we have no right to be mad. Well, you know we can't be mad, but the white people have no right to be mad. It's not your land. Go back to the UK or Europe or wherever you're from.
And see, that's the thing about so-called black people is your ancestors might not have come from Africa per se. Mm-hmm. You might be native to this land. Your phenotype may not show that because they already show you the so-called Indian, you know, like the straight hair with the, you know, so-called shows like that. But there's plenty of people. I hate to draw that line between what is called the Carib, you know, but the Caribbean, but all the way to so-called Canada, which is the same geographical area. That's crazy. They call that a totally different place. That's insane. That show you how insane white people are. But anyway, there was free travel between the so-called Caribbean all the way up into the so-called Americas. That's all people intermingle like that all the time. So there was never no borders like it is now. So it's like the so-called concept of a native of this land is really kind of broad. You know, it's tailored. Is they would like us to think. Anyway, my point that is, there's some people who not down with the Africa. You know, if you're not from Africa, your people not from that's fine. I have no problems with that. But fight for your land here. Fight here.
A lot of people here don't even take the time to try to figure out where they're from, if you're from Africa or not. Like I've had that argument where I've had a person say, I don't even care to know. I'm African American. I'm from America. No, you're not. That's not your culture. That's not where you're from.
Well, then fight for this land here that you're from. And that's, again, go back to what we were saying. Like, why are you not fighting for that? Like, what are you doing? So, fight for this land then. Don't go fight for the military and kill some other people. Fight for the people who are fighting for you.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, we got another person just joined. DeJounte, if you want to introduce yourself real quick.
DeJounte,
then fight for the land here. And I don't see. Yes.
Renton, Washington.
What up? What up?
What's good?
So the question on the table right now is: should we be proud of our growth as a people, or are we behind based on our prior to current opportunities?
I think we're behind still.
Okay.
What has changed? You know what I'm saying? As far as the look towards our community and black people as a race. You know what I'm saying? We're still getting cops called on us for nothing. Starbucks having barbecues. You know what I'm saying? It's like I haven't seen nothing really change dramatically in America. You know what I'm saying? But back then there was change, but I don't see any change right now. We don't have any leaders. We don't have any Martin Luther Kings. We don't have any people that are changing our perception on the United States. You know what I'm saying? Or on who we are. We don't have anybody that's stepping up. That's trying to, like help your brother. Help your brother. Help your sister out. Help. Try to change the mental aspect as far as being a black man or a black woman. You know what I'm saying? Who are our leaders that do that? We had Obama, and we had them. You know what I'm saying? And so and now they're gone. We don't. It seems like we're still lost in a way.
Got you. So, Brian, you still there?
Yep.
All right. I'm seeing your ceiling too, but one of the questions we had earlier, if y'all like it's better to hold it sideways. If y'all want to show y'all whole shit, it's better to hold the camera sideways, because then, I won't be looking at the ceiling, because my view only show half the camera. Yeah, that's cool too. If you want to show a picture, I'm good with that too. But one of the questions we had earlier is based on the current circumstances, what do you see as our future for blacks? From what you see now, what do you see coming for our future?
You talking to me?
Yeah, it's you.
It's hard to answer that question. Well, the future for blacks has got to be dismal, because we're using the term black. You know what I'm saying? We're coming from a position of inferiority mentally.
Oh, should I say African Americans?
I mean, whatever title you want to do it, there's what culture is established under those titles?
None. But yeah, I feel what's going on. Ain't no culture. If you ask Snapchat.
Nope, just certain type of social behavior, which they try to say whatever you're doing at the time, that's culture. But no, it's deeper than that. Your culture comes from your ground up. Whatever you wearing, your clothes, your grandmother made it because the fabric that it's made from come from the plants or whatever material or animal that's from that land that you're from. It's not, you didn't just buy it at the store or Walmart and everybody in your family just start buying everything to wear at Walmart for 10 generations and all of a sudden that's the culture. That's insane. That's retarded. But
culture.
Yeah, culture is the things that make people stick together without even talking.
Right.
Like when I say Chinese people, even whether they're from China, you know what I'm talking about. They have their own language. Exactly. If I say Jamaican, if I say any of that, if I say Nigerian, if I say Nepalese, if I say any of that, you know exactly what I'm saying. But when I say black, you have a concept in your head per se, but it's behavior on a certain level. It's not something economic that I can say, what do black people do economically that you know them economically for? But if I say Jew, you know what I mean when I say that, though.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, I don't, because when I think of Jew, I think of the original, like Jews is black people, not these so-called Jews. Yeah.
Not under that name.
Is that the culture though, or is it that's which like?
Oh, yeah, culturized, no. That what I know is Jew. Yeah, culturized. It's the same. Yeah, I don't know no
Now, we
Jew.
can get into Sephardic and Ashkenazi and all that, but yeah. You know what I mean?
Hey, nigga, our culture is
Historically,
niggas that's rapping. What they look like, you know what I'm saying? All the African Americans that are, are today. What do they see as our culture? Rap 90s hip hop scene, you know what I'm saying? That's our culture, you know what I'm saying? What is it? The same shit. Weed, drugs, the way that we dress, jewelry, you know what I'm saying? Being derogative is just like, that's our culture. If you think about it, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Nebjari, I want to get a little bit into technology. I'll let you start it off, man. What's some things that we as Black people should be aware of, technology wise?
I don't know where to start with that. That's like everything.
Start for somewhere that nobody has no idea what you're talking about, because most of us won't. We're something like, we talk about future, so you ain't gotta go.
But
What you say? You ain't gotta go. You ain't gotta go all the way in, but just give us some ideas of where you feel we should be looking into
the future.
Oh, right now, artificial intelligence, learning how to program in languages like Python, C++, and any other language. As far as government, learn how to program in Ada. That's a government language they use to program things like the F-Series Raptors, the F-Series planes, the guiding systems, the stealth bomber.
Is that what hit the Twin Towers? Is that what hit the Twin Towers? I was just curious. It just sounded like something that was involved in that. Is that anything to do with that?
A stealth bomber?
Was that anything to do with the 9/11 Twin Towers?
Yeah, the software that's in the so-called stealth series bombers or anything made by Boeing or any of the top aerospace companies, they use a programming language called Ada. If you worked in government or if you know anybody who works in government, they'll tell you that's one of the languages that they use primary. It's called Ada, ADA. And everybody else uses, other level languages like C++, Python, things like that. The average Joe could use that. And
So what is Ada? What is Python? What's the difference? Like what exactly is Ada and Python?
How do you say the syntax and things like Ada is a programming language a little bit kind of like Java. Java, has what they call OOPS or object-oriented programming. Everything is done by classes and things like that. And I know this doesn't sound like, but just picture it like this: the difference between Ada and other languages like Python. Python is a language that you can utilize to glue together any other language. No matter somebody could program something in C. This person programs in C++. This person programs in Pascal. This person can program in Java.
That's what I was thinking. It sounded like you was talking about language when I heard you say syntax. Have you ever heard of, like, as far as court-wise, like parse, syntax, grammar, with Judge David Wynn Miller? Have you heard of him?
Right.
And parse, syntax, grammar.
Right.
As far as court-wise. Yeah. I was just wondering. It ain't nothing I want to go into on this.
Yeah, no, you're right. Like, no, it's the same thing.
That it goes into language. You know what I mean? Like about how we speak, how we call each other people or person. You know what I mean? And they have different meanings. If you go into Black's Law Dictionary, they have completely different meanings of being, a child. Like either I hate calling my daughters a child. You know what I mean? Like a child means property of the state. You know what I mean? And most people don't know that. You know what I'm saying?
Why they call you boy? Or they used to call black men boy.
Exactly. So, I mean, like, it goes deep into that. But I don't want to go too far into there. I want to stay on the technology for now, so I'll let you continue. But I was just thinking language. That's what made that come up.
Yeah, no, it's pretty much the same thing. Like the syntax, if you write a certain way, you have to text or write a certain way in a language to where the computer can understand it. You can't misspell or put the wrong number. So that's what it's called, the syntax. You have to get the syntax right, or else when you compile whatever you're doing, it won't run. It'll simply crash, or it just won't work, period. So just like when you humans communicate with each other, you have to know that other person's language or the syntax or whatever words they could be strung together so you understand what's being said. You just can't say, I am, see him, that guy over there. It's like, what? You have to say, hey, I see that guy over there. You see him? There's a certain way you have to put the words together in order for it to make sense to the other computer or to, create communication. So you have to have the syntax. And those languages, they have different syntax, But anyway, Ada, again, it's a language that you use, and there's other different types of languages with different uses depending on what it is. If you want to control a grid, as far as a city, the cities, all cities, and pretty much are on a grid, and that grid is controlled by a software. If you knew what that software or know what that software is, guess what you could be doing right now? The same thing is with communication. When it comes to BTS or I should say, cell towers, that's ran by software. If you know the communication software, if you know what a PBX is, a public branch exchange, what type of software that is, you could build your own communication server and roll out your own telecom company overnight if you know that software. If you know what a software is called Elastics, spell the word elastic, but at the end put an X.
Real quick, what's the importance of us? What would be the importance of us building our own communication server?
With that, you control from point to point everything about the communication, the encryption, and everything. You don't have to rely on a third-party company.
So you're talking about like cell phones? You're talking about like cell phones?
The backbone of how cell phones work, how the calls are transferred to each other, everything, the call waiting, the music in the background, all of that. If you know how to do that, if you know what software is utilized to do that, you could build your own communication server. You could put them all over the planet, connect them, and you have your own network. You don't have to use AT&T or whatever. You may have their hardware, their fiber optic lines per se, but you get over satellite communication or hardware, or you could skip that. If you got 35 grand, you could go to Korea right now and buy a satellite, find a way to launch it. Probably pay $250,000 more or less to launch it. Take it to Elon Musk. He has of course, I know you probably know about his space company. Launch it into space, put it in a geosynchronous orbit. Blah 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 blah. I'm saying we have solutions. We can do anything we want to, but as you can see, I'm one person, but we could do anything on this planet, software and hardware wise, that we want to. But how many people do we know that know any of this stuff?
250 racks. Okay.
Yeah, but it costs about $250,000, probably way less than that because of a SpaceX. Now because of Elon Musk, just hitch a ride, or what they call a piggyback in business. When you use somebody else is going somewhere, a company, FedEx, they're going somewhere, and you just say, hey, can I put this on a plane with it? How much would it cost to get that? You're going there anyway. Right. So use a piggyback method and find some company that'll support you and put your satellite in orbit. You could have that done.
And the communication system provides for what? What do you can put out there? And
anything that uses satellite. Anything that uses satellite. Yeah.
Okay.
Just put your satellite up. And if you know the software and the what are called X radio protocols, develop your own if you have to, if you want to. And Korea is selling satellites since publicly for a while now. I think I'll say almost 10 years. Could be longer than that. But me personally, I know because of every year they have they have a couple of military shows every year where the people who manufacture weapons and other military grade uh, anything, tanks, you name it, whatever.
Right,
They have
right.
shows every year. Every year they have shows like 20, 30 of them.
Okay.
You go to these shows, or I'll put up some videos in a second where you could see where this goes on. You go there, you can literally buy weapons, anything you want, if you have the money.
Wow. Wow.
It's an expo. They're called expos. There's certain type of expos. So you know about a gun expo and things like that.
Yeah.
When you get out to the world and kind of see things a little bit, you see that those gun expos are nothing compared to these weapons expos they have all over the world.
The military expos.
Right. Yeah. And
Oh shit.
right. And if you got the cash, you could buy these things, no problem. And they're relatively compared to what rappers show in their video, what they spend money on with the Lamborghinis and all that.
Yeah.
It's relatively cheap. It's relatively cheap.
Cheaper than what they got.
Yeah, if you're gonna go spend that much money on a Bentley, you could have spent that money and got a small military.
Wow. He said that small military.
Yeah, you see.
They don't think about that though, you know what I mean? So, hey, that's crazy.
No, and some of the software that I'm talking about, well, most of it. What if I told you it's free? Yeah.
Wow.
When you building your own, and open source, you're building your own shit. You get them numbers drop down. Them drop down because all that shit is.
Quit telling our secrets.
Hey, how you feel about it, Brian? I see you over there. How you feel about it?
He's lying. That shit's money. He's lying. It costs type of money, nigga. Shut up, nigga. I'm over here selling the game. I ain't giving shit away.
All right, you want?
He just posted it online.
Is it a commercial break? You want me to post your commercial right there?
I showed y'all something, and nobody even peeped what I was doing over here this whole time.
I can't see it that clear. I can't see what you posting. I seen something on there, but it's like kind of blurry.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why my camera's doing that. Maybe I'm just ain't even a new phone. But peep this. This is the email scraper. What this email scraper does, how people try to generate leads for doing ads on Facebook and Instagram and shit like that? Hello? Okay. Yeah. What this does, I can pick any niche or any title or anything. I can put it in and put what type of email I want, whether I want a Gmail or a Yahoo. It'll go through Facebook and scrape up all those emails, and I can sell those lists and everything. I just found me an email scraper, nigga. I bought this motherfucker. And then, nigga, so like anybody who does Shopify, I can like find all their emails and send them mass emails telling them how to get their email list up and sell them the list that I generate from the motherfucker.
I see you.
Whole thing about that is people pay for these lists. They pay to get ads to generate these lists that I can scrape up without ads. There's some type of little JavaScript add-on right here that you add to your browser, scraping your social media. I'm always on mine. I'm not the smartest motherfucker in the world, but I'm over here digging for gold. So I want everybody, just to show people, I want to show y'all what I'm doing right now. I'm currently automating pages. So I have I have a business manager right here that manages all my pages. So I manage an attorney, I manage a bookstore, and I manage a Facebook video ad page, which is doing pretty good right now because I'm running an ad for people. So my engagement, as you can see, is pretty high. I can zoom in there, but I guess we can't see that well. But anyway, I would like everybody, if you're on a device, if you guys would go check my page out and check my messenger. I have an auto messenger that I'm working on right now. That way clients can actually engage with my page, whether I'm there or not. And that allows me to be able to get a higher conversion rate as far as like contacting people and soliciting them without spamming them and everything. This eliminates all that spam. So everybody that does something is willing. So for example, if I go here to FB video ads, hold on. If you guys go to that page, I had 20 likes last week. I'm at 70 right now. My page is building. There's another person that's copying me. I'm smashing him. And then if you go inside the page and talk, it'll talk back to you.
Interesting.
So there's these. So just to share information with you guys, these automated pages and it'll tell you your name. It doesn't matter who it is. Anybody that goes on my page, it'll say their name and say thank you for coming, and somebody will contact you shortly. And then I can even program in a list of questions that they can ask that my thing can auto answer. And then here's some of the automation tools that I'm using to automate that, so I can do this business for other people, because most people are going to be needing automation in the future. I think people should be on something similar. They don't have to be doing what I'm doing, but like right here, this programs all my inboxes and all my messages, and I can do inbox marketing through Facebook and Instagram. So instead of me trying to get your email list, instead of me just come straight in your inbox and give you my advertisement. So if anybody needs any services like that, talk to me. I can help you automate your business online. Black businesses. That's my answer. That's my whole point. Black businesses. Doesn't matter what it is. You got to be a master at your craft, and you got to get. Then your word can matter, because your money matters. But right now, you can have the greatest idea in the world, but if you ain't got no money or no military, kind of ain't. Tell them about Rocket Chat, Aya.
Yeah, I posted that. Yeah, Rocket Chat. If you like Skype, if you like Hangouts, Google Hangouts, or any of that, pretty much Rocket Chat is your own communication server / how do you explain it? If you know what Google Hangouts is, where you can swap files.
Wait, hold on. How many shows of mine you been on, and you just now telling me about this?
What's that?
Wow.
It's a whole nother program I could be using instead of Skype, because I only started using Skype for extended time. I really didn't want to use Skype. That's why I was using Zoom. And I was going to use Hangouts, but I didn't want to switch over because I just started using Zoom, and I didn't want to have people like, okay, well, now we on Zoom. Now we on Google. You know what I'm saying? But I'm looking for something that's better than that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, you just now telling me about this. What is this Rocket thing?
Well, Rocket Chat is software. It's open source software where if you know how to set up a server, and you set up a server and you install this software, you can pretty much have your own, just like how Google has Hangouts. Well, you can have your own Rocket Chat, and you have to read about it, what it does, and you can also white label this app. It's not just an app or a server software, but you can take it and white label it, and
I'm picking up.
If you know how to program or you got help, so you behind Google Hangouts is what this is based on. It's just that they put their own interface on it. But check out that, and check out. I also put a video up called the Software Radio Open BTS, the Well-Tempered Hacker. This guy, if you walk through his videos, this is number 4. But if you walk through the videos, he shows you how to build and install the software to create your own cellular network. You can do it in a few hours. It probably at the cost of what you could use to do it, it's probably less than $1,500.
Okay. Regina, you still there, or was you busy right now?
I'm still here.
All right. I wanted to ask, how do you feel about future and technology? I know you was like in the service and stuff like that, and I know you might be aware of some people or some things that we, as on average, don't know about. So how do you feel about the future and technology, or business and whatnot as a Black people?
I think business is very important. As for technology, I'm not really big on that. I'm not into it, or I just know that I guess we lack that, because I know up in Seattle they have like some kind of program where they're trying to get minorities into learning about technology because we're not the ones that are doing it. They'll pay for you free. I think that's how I heard about the ADA, because they'll pay for you to go and learn about doing coding and all that stuff like that. So I think it's a big thing that we should get into. But I didn't learn anything about that in the military. I didn't do anything with technology wise, but I think it's something important. You have some people in certain areas that are not even big on. They don't know how to use a computer. They don't know nothing about email, or they're just a little behind. So I think that's something that's very important that we should get into.
Yeah, that's why I say that it's too many people doing entertainment and sports, and then it's like people start thinking that that's our culture and that's all we're supposed to be doing, and that's cool to be doing that. But for all the rest of the population, the majority and the masses, motherfuckers need some type of basic form of knowledge. Like if you go to China, you'll find fucking children programming. So they over here shitting on adults. So that's how far behind we are that the kids of another country can outperform us and outproduce.
I think with the whole, like, I do agree with that, because I feel like they just broadcast it more. You see more people, oh, I'm going to play football, I'm going to play basketball, or I'm trying to be in the rap business, instead of people that want to be engineers or politicians. It's just they glorify being an entertainer before they will glorify, oh, you be a politician, get out here and learn this and learn that. I know somebody that wants to be a rapper, and I'm like, well, why don't you go to school and be an engineer? You'll do more with engineering than you will with being an entertainer.
It's because of our influence, you know what I'm saying? Who's raising these young black men? These niggas that are game banging, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
What do they know, you know what I'm saying?
Or they see it and they just like, oh, that's what I want to do. Or it's in the music. I'm out here thugging. I'm killing this nigga. I'm doing this. But really, in reality, you're not doing that at all. You're living over here in this 17-bedroom mansion. But then you got these people out here, and they really think that that's what's going on. I think that's like a form of like control. Like, we're gonna tell these people that this is what life is about. Either you're going to be an entertainer or you're going to be a ball player or something, and that there's nothing more.
Yeah, right. Because majority of black people, where are we living? Are we surrounded by?
Sound a little bit low.
You know what I'm saying? We're not.
Hey, Tay.
Yeah.
Sound a little bit low.
Low.
Yeah. I can hear you better now when you brought it to your face.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I said, who are we surrounded by? You know what I'm saying? Most black people we're not raised rich. We're not raised by white people that are fortunate to be, not even fortunate, it's just to be surrounded by that atmosphere where you're trying to be something else than what your kindness like proclaimed to be. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like majority of us black people, we're not adapted to that yet, and we don't have that type of support or people that are into that. You know what I'm saying? So we're not even looking towards that. We're trying to be what our people that are raising us to be. You know, and they're not. And who's raising us? People from the '90s and people like that. You know what I'm saying? They're not on that shit. They're on that selling, hey yo, trying to get some bitches. Trying to,
As soon as you get a chance, Hallie, I have a new guest that would like to be on the show. She's new to this. And I got a little newbie in over here. She wants to put her input as soon as y'all finish. I don't want to interrupt nobody, but as soon as y'all finish, she wants to answer a question.
Yeah, go ahead. Just let her introduce herself and stuff, and go ahead.
Okay, let me fix my camera real quick. Okay, hold on. Where you going, girl? She wanted to come say something.
Hi. Wow, people. You just kind of put me on the spot and I wasn't prepared.
She bailed in and said, "Can I be on the show?" I was like, so go ahead, whatever.
So what's your name? And obviously you out there with Brian. So just what's your name and go ahead and ask your question.
My name is Amira. I mean, do we just say our name or what, like our handle?
You can just introduce yourself, whatever you feel comfortable with.
I'm sorry?
I said you can just introduce yourself however you feel comfortable. You know your name, where you're from, or what you represent, or you know you could just put up a black face if you want to, however you feel.
It's funny.
Well, my name is Amira Salim. I'll just give you guys like a little 30-second quick background. So I was born, I guess, into Islam or being Muslim, but my parents split up like early on in my life. So my parents actually gave us the option to choose if we wanted to follow religion or not. Whatever we wanted to do, it was totally supported by our parents, which leads me up to, I've been on my little, I would say, socially conscious journey for at least the past 5 years, real tough and real strong. But I heard him, the guy that was talking before Brian interrupted, he was saying how white people, they're not raised into, I guess, into the same environments that black people are, that a lot of, because I don't want to say most and I don't want to say all, but that a lot of black people are raised into, which I agree with. I don't know the question that was before that, but just to, my opinion on that is I feel like this country was kind of like, that's like the reason, you know what I'm saying? Like the peasants of Europe came to a new land and they already had this formulated in their heads and their minds. Like they knew what the plan was. It was to get them ahead of basically of the rest of the world. You know, so that's why they got free labor and slavery and all that other stuff. So that's what I'm saying. Like I agree with what he was saying or whatever. And we are like the stuff that I'm just learning in my early 30s, I probably should have learned and knew like at like 15, 16, if I was raised in the correct environment. So it does give them an edge. But what I was like, once people are aware that like this is how it was actually supposed to go hundreds and hundreds of years ago before. And I do agree that a lot of us were already here before. Like, I don't believe all that, like every last black person or the majority of black people came from Africa on a ship. I think a lot of us were already here and they just brought some more or whatever, but they already knew what they were going to do. But the whole objective of the white man is to keep their people ahead because they have been behind for so long. You know, it's like they were born behind. They're literally the last, and there's no disrespect if there's any white people out there, but you know, you got to know that you were the last humanoids, you know, developed on this earth. The certain type of, I guess what phenotype they would say, like they were the last ones, you know what I'm saying? Which, you know, like they're still a person, you know, still a human being, whatever, just like us, but they were born or created, however y'all think they got here. They were, you know, they were created last or whatever. So you got to realize all the ancient shit that our people have done over the years, as far as like just dynasties and kingdoms and then having royalty in our blood and our history. Like this is new to them. It's not new to us, but it's the way they went about it, because like a smart white person got to sit up there and think straight up. Like you got to know, like, just look at what your people have done to gain power worldwide, historically, forever, you know? Like I said, I'm not an anti-hate white. I got to make white people feel comfortable. I have white friends, so
my best friend is white.
I'm ragging on, but I'm just keeping it real.
My best friend's name is Todd.
Todd. I have to put that out because I want people think that like just because you say something about the history or the nature of their people that you're directing it to them in particular. No, I don't think all white people are bad, but I think a lot of them are like in a different. Everybody knows, like my friends, they tell me all the time. I have this reference, what I call white people, like the bubble they live in. I call it white people land or Disneyland, because they're literally living in a totally different. It's just like their environment is so different than how a lot of black people, not even just black people, just people of color, period. Like they are really raised in this bubble. Not saying that there's no white people that have had hardships, grew up in dysfunctional households,
You talk about the majority.
I'm not, yeah, exactly. It's just it's not compared to how many, it's just not the majority. Like, even like a white person that lives in the ghetto still owns a house. You know what I'm saying? Like in the countries, you know what I'm saying? Like when you go to the country and you see them poor ass white people, they still own a house. The poorest black person don't own no fucking house. Even if the white person own like a mobile home, like that motherfucker at least like $1,500 a month. There's motherfuckers like too many black people out there that don't own shit. But people need to know, instead of like judging our people and trying to like look down on them, see where we have come from, because this country and this system has made it actually comfortable for them to get ahead opposed to the other people. Because how is it that the mother, like we used to be the people that like they had all, had all the skills, and like welfare was actually created for white people, because when after slavery ended, right, we were the ones with all the skills, and we were the welders, we the ones that built everything, did everything. We were the ones that like just knew everything, because white people were busy kicking their feet up all those fucking years that like black people have to do a lot of their work. Even the ones that did not own slaves, they still, like I said, still to this day, how they benefit from the situation now, they still benefited from it all those years too as well. So they cannot compete with us in the job market. Then on top of that, after slavery, and then it's illegal for me to fucking get a job because I'm black. Now I'm gonna start a whole new slavery, which is the prison system, to put niggas back in jail, back working for me for free, at least on Front Street. Like it's not like I guess systemically racism is illegal, but not when it comes to the prison system. So they created a lot of laws, which I'm sure you guys already know about, like in the civil rights movements, and our grandparents and great-great-grandparents or whatever, like they couldn't even, like you couldn't sit on the front of a bus without going to jail. Like white people need to know how many years they got on us. And I'm not saying like I said, I'm not down in white people. I'm trying to get white people. Well, I really don't care if they understand. I more care when our people understand, because I feel like black people care way too much. A lot. This is what I will say: a large majority. I don't give a fuck if a black person came from a good background, a fucked up background, a hood, whatever the hell, whatever level. I feel like we collectively, what white people think about us and our culture way too much. Like I don't have friends; they'll just be speaking regular. And like I remember when I was just going out with my homegirl like a couple weeks ago, and like we just pulled up to the gas station, and she was playing her little music and shit, and she really got the nerve to say, and then because there was some people like next to us in their car, she's like, I wonder what she really said. This, she said, this girl, I will say, she's not on the conscious tip, but she's what you call a nice person. She's a nice person. You know what I'm saying? She's really cool. But I won't say she's the most conscious, but this is what she said. She said, I wonder what those white people in those cars are, I wonder what they're thinking of us right now. And I'm like, I said, who made them the motherfuckers like that, like to set the standard of like how we think, how we live, and how we should do our shit? You know what I'm saying? I said,
all right.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck what niggas that was raised, born in, like, nigga, if you ain't been through my experience, I don't give a fuck about what you think about me. I'm not saying that. I'm not giving black people a price. Just go out.
Yo. That was a wonderful introduction. I had to say that was one of the best introductions I've heard so far. But the topic of the night, actually, though, we talking about is like future. We talking about like technology and as far as blacks, how we kind of behind as a people. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, where we up to speed. Definitely. Oh, and that's why I remember. That's why he was talking about like, we need less athletes, less entertainers. We need more people, which I totally 100% agree with. But that's another thing I'd ever, you know what I'm saying? The people who run the media will run the population of the world, because anything that they can put in front of your eyes that you can see, they'll always have the control. So when they constantly pumping on TV, like I be seeing all these messages. I swear, ever since I got woke, I just be looking at shit like you're trying to program these little niggas into like, I see what you're trying to do. Like, and I see it. I'm like, I see this shit in the average, and it really is like it's like all these programs that are constantly running in our face to keep advertising, which is so all these little black boys. Not only do not only do they want to be rappers and ball players and this, that, and the third, their parents think that they should be that too. You know what I'm saying? Because their parents are uneducated about a lot of the opportunities that are out there. Or, you know, for example, I'm gonna tell you one little story. My homegirl, she's dating a man with a child, and she said, I hate how parents. She said, I hate how parents. But she was talking about her boyfriend. She was like, I hate how parents try to force things onto their children of like what they want them to be or whatever. And then she was like, she said her I guess her boyfriend, he's trying to make his daughter go to college and be like I don't know if it was a volleyball player or like a WNBA, but I don't know, it was one of those sports, right? Because he was like, yeah, you know, she's really good. And she was like, every time I see his daughter, she always like is into science stuff, and she always asking me questions about this and that. She's always like, you know, and she was like, to me, he should cater to that. He should get, you know, tools to develop that, whatever she wants to be in that, you know, in that field. And I think we like just ignore, like, if they can't sing or if they can't, or like they got to play ball, then I don't know.
Got you. Appreciate it. You said you had a question for us real quick before we pass on. Do you have a question for us, or shall I go to my next question?
Only question I have, how often do you guys do this show? A week?
Typically about once a week. Sometimes I'll do it a little more depending on if someone has a special request or whatnot. If someone has something they want to talk about, then I'll, you know, pull one up. But I try to do them at least once a week. It's not a specific time or nothing, but at least like once a week or so.
Okay, for sure. That's what's up. Okay.
Telling her about your show, man. You know, I'm always doing cross promotion, so I was like, you know, maybe if y'all come up with a topic that's on her niche, she can promote on her Instagram. She got like 20,000 followers, so y'all can, you know, build more exposure to your show, and you know, continue to grow both those parties.
Okay, definitely. I'm with it. You know, I'm always with the growth. You know.
I gotta jump on some business. I just wanted to say hi to everybody. I'm gonna get back to y'all later, man. Hey, hit me up, Kyle, when you get a chance.
All right.
Yeah, Kyle.
All right. So,
I said hi, Kyle. Amir said hi.
Tell Kyle if I knew he was on there, I would have said that.
You're funny.
He was just sitting back listening, like, you know what? I'm tired of these motherfuckers. Nigga, this is nerd game.
Okay.
Most deaf. Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate the response.
It's with Helly Cali, nigga.
What's up, though? What's happening?
Fuck with you, nigga.
What, man?
Hey, no, I'm proud of you. I like how you know, progress, and I like how, you know, I see like if you continue, man, continue to develop, your show gonna get better.
I appreciate that. I'm gonna keep working on it. I appreciate that, you know, and I'll be out there soon. You know, we can link up on some of that other stuff too. I know you out there getting money, man. I need some money too, so I'm trying to get up. I'm trying to get up with niggas trying to get it like I'm trying to get it. You feel me?
Like I'm trying to get it, then you're my friend already, bro. Come on out here. I'm over here digging for gold every day, boy. I mean, I'm trying to get it.
You already knowing.
I can't even black condition in life because I'm too busy getting the bag. So, you know, I'm gonna get to my black condition in a minute. But before I get to that, let me get this bag real quick. Y'all have a.
Well, while you get to that bag, I'm gonna get back to the black and let me finish up this show.
I love that.
And I'll be out there to get the bag with you ASAP. Believe that.
I'm out here waiting.
All right, most deaf, fam.